Ahoy, mateys! Welcome back to another video. How's it going? It's your boy RobertIDK here, back on another track. We're doing some more animations today. Can't really see a darn thing over here, but that's okay, because content. Inappropriate animations, you guys. We're going back to Share My Story. The homies, here, this is them, Share My Story. Go check them out if you like the animation. We're gonna look at a couple wacky animations that my assistant curated for me, so we know that we're not getting duds, we're getting pure slappers, and we will see how long I can keep this bit up. We're gonna see if I can even see my screen as I do this, but maybe it'll just make my commentary even dumber than it already is. Psycho girl versus psycho. Okay, are we suggesting from this title that if someone says the word psycho, we're assuming it's a guy? Why does a psycho have to be a guy? Huh? If a psycho's female, they're a psycho girl, they're not just a psycho? Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna make sure I get the click.
Hey, I'm Caroline.
Hello, Caroline.
And my neighbor made my life hell by listening to loud music every single night.
That sounds horrible. Wow, loud music. It sounds like the worst torture a human could possibly weather.
I knew I had to get rid of him.
Why?
So I sent him up, and now he's in prison.
Had to get rid, because he was listening to loud music, Caroline? Are you out of your Caro mind, Caroline? Guys, is Caroline out of her Caro mind? Leave a comment below. Am I out of my Caro mind? I think so. I genuinely can't see anything. Actually, yes, I can, because these are my eyes. They're my real eyes. I'm an actual shark. I'm filling in for Robert today. Anyways, wow, your guy's listening to loud music, and that's enough for you to set him up to go to prison? Yeah, I think this title is accurate.
Let me tell you how I did it. It all started after I got my promotion at work. Finally, I had enough money to move out of my mom's home and to find my own place.
Proud of you, Caroline.
It was a one-bedroom apartment, and I absolutely loved it. But right when I went to bed at midnight, my neighbor started playing loud metal music.
Oh no, sounds horrible. Okay, actually that would be really annoying. If you just moved in, that would be kind of annoying, but...
I waited for 5 minutes, hoping he would turn down the music again, but nothing happened. So I decided to knock on his door.
So I killed him!
Of course, I was scared, but I had a knife with me, just in case.
You had a knife with you? This girl is out of her mind. We call this a hypochondriac, people. People who think the worst of every situation. Listen, it's good to always have your self-defense utilities with you, but do you really have to be this intimidated by a person who listens to loud music? You want a good example of this? I listen to really heavy music, and look at me. Aww. Actually, now that I think about it, my razor-sharp teeth would probably intimidate a few people.
When he opened the door, he looked drunk and smelled like he hadn't showered in months.
Yikes.
"What do you want?" he said. "The music is too loud. I can't sleep," I answered. "Oh, I'm feeling so bad for you. Maybe I'll come and pay you a visit later. Oh. What do you think?"
Oh,
he
no!
said with a big smile on his face. Then he closed the door and turned the music up even more.
Oh no! What the heck? Yo, what? Okay, I get it. This guy sucks. I understand now. But did you talk to the people who run the apartment complex? Because there are actual noise policies after a certain period of time. Unless you're going to bed at like 6 p.m., then you can't really do anything about people being loud. But if you're going to bed at like 10 or later, he can't be loud. He can get kicked out of the apartment, so.
Wow, he wasn't just a jerk, but he was also threatening me. I immediately called the police.
Wow.
But all they could do was ask him to turn his music down. But as soon as they left, my neighbor turned his music up again. I might look like a nice and sweet girl.
You look like Velma.
But you better not mess with me.
You look like Velma. You're literally, you stole Velma's entire swag, Caroline. I know you've been watching a lot of RobertIDK and it's gotten you on a Scooby-Doo kick, but ripping off Velma's entire style is a little far.
But you better not mess with me.
Woo!
It took me less than 5 minutes to come up with a plan to destroy this whole man's life.
Oh my gosh.
Here's how I did it. Right the next day, when my neighbor entered our building, I left it so he knew I wasn't at home. I had left my apartment door wide open and placed a couple of $1,000 on my table.
And you put up cameras and you caught him stealing and got him arrested. Wow, there you go. A setup.
I knew if my neighbor saw the money, he would go and try to steal it. That's why I planted a video camera into my apartment that would record everything.
See, sharks are smarter than you think, guys.
And I also asked my best friend to overwhelm my neighbor in case he would try to steal the money. Well, everything went as planned. And after my neighbor had picked up the money, my friend threw himself on him and held him down until the police arrived.
I don't know if that part was necessary. Top 10 anime battles. That one's up there for sure.
I was there too, and it felt so good to see him being arrested with handcuffs and all. But of course, he knew I had set him up. So when he saw me, he screamed, "It's not over yet. I will come and find you."
Oh.
However, he shouldn't have said that in front of the police.
Yeah. Yo, Gerald heard that, bruh. You know Gerald heard that. Like, bro, you seriously think you can say that in front of me? An extra year in the dog pound. That's how you get a free restraining order. Like, hey, don't worry, we'll get you a free restraining order for that. We got a 2-piece combo with the fries with your sentence. Stealing and scary words.
Because when it was time for him to be trialed, he not only received a 2-year prison sentence for burglary and attempted theft, but another 6 months for threatening me.
Dang.
I was so happy that he was locked away. But then something very scary happened. 1 week later, I was walking down a street at night when suddenly the doors of a car right next to me opened with 2 men coming out of them. I immediately knew they were coming for me, so I started running as fast as I could. I hadn't done sports in years, but in college I was in the varsity team, so I knew how to run. And trust me, I ran.
Get out of there,
For
Caroline!
at least 1 minute they were right behind me.
Oh my gosh!
But they couldn't keep up and quickly gave up. After I escaped, I immediately called the police, and it took them less than a day to find video camera footage of the car that the 2 men had come out of.
Nice. Now, is this Canada where you have to have a front license plate? Did they get the plate numbers? Or is this a different country where you don't have to have front license plates? Let's find out.
The owner of the car was a notorious member of a well-known biker gang. You know, one of those losers that need to drive loud motorbikes to feel important.
Shots fired! Yo, any of you guys have a dad or an uncle? I know there's definitely someone watching this right now whose uncle or dad is a loud biker boy. Hey man, do what you want. It only gets really bad if it literally hurts my ears. Like if people feel happy riding their motorcycles with their leather on, doing their thing, go for it. Be my guest. But if your motor literally hurts my ears as you're driving by, then it's a little too much. You don't need to do that to prove that you are a tough boy. I think a lot of people, when they see something like that, someone who has to like prove themselves that they're like tough and cool through a loud motor of their vehicle, it literally has the opposite effect. People assume that you're insecure. Just a lesson to all of you bikers out there. There's a threshold where it stops looking cool and it starts looking, ooh, I think he's a little insecure. I don't know.
When the police investigated further, they found out that my old neighbor was well connected to the motorbike gang, and he had ordered them to kidnap me.
These look like teenagers. This dude doesn't look like he should be in a biker gang. He looks like he should be battling Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He looks like he should be attending anime conventions.
And he had ordered them to kidnap me, or even do worse. The police said my life was at risk, which is why they brought me into the witness protection program.
Oh my word.
Now I'm living in a different city with a new identity and a new job. Of course it sucks, because I can't meet up with my family or my old friends anymore.
Oh my word.
All we can do is talk via video chat.
That's essentially how I've been living all year, ever since all this stuff started. This is my entire life. And yeah, no, I can imagine this pretty rough. Oh gosh. Surprise! I was underneath the whole time. Let's make it so I can actually see the end of this.
But at least I got justice. Because my old neighbor and the 2 bikers that wanted to kidnap me all received a life in prison sentence.
This looks like a Beyblade crew. This does not look like a biker crew, a biker gang. This looks like a Beyblade gang. And then they've got Phoenix Wright over here, Ace Attorney, minus 100 pounds.
Objection!
Bruh, you ain't scaring me, guys. Literally, all I have to do is whip out Exodia, and these guys are done. They'd run away in 2 seconds.
Sentences for attempted kidnapping, which means they're locked away forever.
Oh, see, you're not so tough. You're not so tough, Fred. Look at these guys. Yo, they are shook. They're like, I haven't seen my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in 3 weeks. And I can sympathize. If I went this long without really letting it rip with the Beyblades, I would probably cry myself to sleep as well.
I'm so glad this nightmare is over, and I hope my story was able to illustrate how people create their own hell on earth. I mean, if my old neighbor had treated me with respect and kept his music down, and if the 2 bikers hadn't tried to kidnap me, none of them would be in prison right now.
Wow. This whole situation could have been avoided if he just didn't listen to Metallica. I listen to Metallica. I don't want this to happen to me. Yo, I am a good I'm a good neighbor, though. I yell, I scream, I make noise, but I only do it during the middle of the day. As soon as 10 o'clock hits, the person right above me is not gonna hear any of this shouting or any heavy music, which I do listen to. I'm cool too.
A big thank you to the police for throwing those losers into prison where they belong.
Good job, police.
And please, let me know in the comments what you would have done in my situation.
Well, here's the problem. The whole situation would have been avoided because I would walk up to that dude's apartment looking how I look, and I'd be like, hey, could you, please turn your music down because, I sleep at 8:30 and it makes it hard to sleep when you're playing the heavy music. And he'd be running scared. The whole situation would be avoided. He would be the one watching his back every night. This was a bad idea. Wearing this was a terrible idea. All right, can I keep it like this? Probably not. All right, these were a couple psychos. Psycho is a pretty intense word to use, you guys. I mean, I'm sure there was some psychotic behavior happening here, but you know, I don't know. I have no advice for these people, really. A lot of the time, I like to try and come through with, oh, if you only did this. But the fact of the matter is that this dude, even though you're 6'3", which is pretty darn tall, not gonna lie. When I'm in shark mode, I am probably also 6'3". So what's scarier, a 6'3" anime kid or a 6'3" shark? Yeah, that's what I thought. Man, I am getting hot in this thing, you guys. All right, that one down, one to go. I'm a young sugar baby. How to buy me for money. Yikes! Now this one's gonna be controversial, you guys. There are lots of people out there who are like, yo, sugar baby, sugar daddy, that's some creepy stuff. And then there's other people who are like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to make money. How are you gonna sit here and judge people who make their money? Basically what's going on here is this young lady is being paid by this old dude to be his girlfriend. It's a relationship that is being paid for. I mean, a little bit weird, but who am I to judge? What do I do for money? I'm not really in a situation to judge how people make money. All right, here we go. Man, I am sweating. I need to take a dip in the ocean after this.
Life's hard when you're a single mom. I fell pregnant when I was 16, and my daughter's father said he didn't want to be a parent so young.
Same. That was on both of you guys, though. That's both of your fault, though. Let's be real here.
So he dumped me when I wouldn't have a termination. I dropped out of school when I had the baby. I called her Tamsin.
Tamsin? I've never heard the name Tamsin before. Is it Tamsin? Okay, see, here we see the immediate flaw with that name. Yeah, okay. Listen, it's up to you what you want to name your children. All I ask is don't name them something that's really easy to make fun of on the playground, okay? Tamsin, that kid's gonna have a bad time.
It was tough taking care of her alone. She didn't seem like other children. She needed a lot of extra care. When she was 5, she was diagnosed with autism, which explained her behavior. But it didn't make things easier for me. I was 22. no college degree,
22.
no job.
22. Let me think about this. If I had a child at 16, I would have a literal 10-year-old here. I would be old enough to have a 10-year-old child. Can you imagine me with a 10-year-old child? Actually, I'd be an awesome dad. I ain't even gonna front like that, but I ain't trying to have a 10-year-old right now. I have enough 10-year-olds in my life as it is. In the comments below. I remember when I was younger, I was watching Pokemon, and in like the very beginning of Pokemon, Ash Ketchum's like, all right, I just turned 10. Now I'm old enough to go and be a Pokemon master.
10-year-olds can get a beginner Pokemon from Professor Oak.
In that show, Ash literally travels around the world by himself or with a few friends, battling these monsters without any steady home. 10 years old. So when I was a little child, I was like, oh, if I'm 10, I'm essentially an adult. I can go live off by myself and travel the world on foot with monsters. Then when I did turn 10, I was like, hey Bob, could you get me a new Pokemon DVD? I wasn't quite old enough to travel the world at that point. What a tangent. This tangent's been way too long. Let's carry on.
One day, I was looking through Craigslist for ways to make money. I found an ad which said,
looking for a lady.
well-off 45-year-old male looking for a lady that likes to be well-treated.
Finding a lady who likes to be well-treated? Hey man, you're getting a little specific here. I only know a handful of people who like being treated well by other humans.
We can start with coffee and exchange resumes.
Exchange resumes? What kind of qualifications do you need to be a sugar baby? I had a boyfriend and like, I made sure that when we watched a sad movie together, I'd snuggle him while he cried. And I know how to make popcorn from the microwave, and I know what all the buttons on the remote do. What could possibly be on that resume that wouldn't fly for this dude? Oh, you went to medical school? Sorry, you're a little too intelligent for me.
Your time is valuable, and I'll make sure you don't feel undercompensated. Hoping for a drama-free, mutually beneficial arrangement. It was obvious he was looking for a sugar babe. I'd never seen myself dating an older guy, but I was struggling to find work and still take care of my daughter. So I decided to send him a message, even though there wasn't a photo so I could see what he looked like. We met at a Starbucks, and he said his name was Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He was nothing like I expected. He wasn't 45. He was in his 50s and overweight.
Uh-oh. Guys, we have a lie. My sensors have indicated a lie. That's a red flag. We call that a red flag, people. I feel like this will not go well. If literally the first sentence of your ad was a lie, that you're 45, that's bad if you ask me.
Still, Mark was easy to talk to, so although I wasn't attracted to him, I figured we'd get on okay. His 2 kids were grown up and he'd been divorced for years. At the end of our first date, he said, we should go out for dinner. I know a few good restaurants. I still wasn't sure I wanted a sugar daddy, but I said yes anyway. The restaurant we went to was incredible. My food cost over
$200! Who on earth's doing that? Well, I guess he's gotta flex the money. If he lied about his age, at least he's showing that he isn't lying about the money. You gotta flex the money somehow. But hey, that $200, you know what you can buy with $200? You could buy like 4 of these costumes.
My food cost over $100, and it tasted amazing. It was a nice place, but Mark was rather boring. I didn't really want to kiss him afterwards, but I did it anyway. Then he flew me and Tamsin first class to Hawaii. We stayed at a beautiful resort.
Woo!
It was lovely.
That's fun.
But he spent so much money on me. I kind of felt guilty. Like I owed him something, you know?
Uh-oh. Guys, that's not good. You don't want to be in a relationship where you feel like you owe people things. Oh, well, I did this for you, so you should do this for me. Don't you think you should do this thing for me because I did the thing for you? Remember the Hawaii? Remember the Hawaii? Come on. Yikes, fam. Yikes. Listen, you do want to have a mutual relationship here. You want a relationship where both people are, you know, contributing to each other's lives, but like, if it comes to guilt is a red flag, you guys. Trust me, I'm a shark. I've seen many red flags on submarines.
Still, at least my money worries were over. Mark and I started seeing each other, but he didn't want us to move in together. Instead, he gave me a condo in the city and
Nice.
just came by whenever he wanted. He paid me a $6,000 monthly allowance.
Whoa, that's dope. $6,000 a month is awesome. That's so awesome.
He even bought me a Lexus. I gotta
Alexis.
admit, I loved my new life. I sent Tamsin to a private kindergarten and started taking some college courses. Finally, things were turning around for me.
All right, this ain't so bad. She seems happy. I mean, again, there's still that lie, right? There's still the, I'm 45. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Look at this gray mop on my head. And I know as RobertIDK, I shouldn't be talking. I shouldn't be calling someone else's hair a mop. But you know, she seems happy. She's going to college to get more knowledge. Things seem to be okay, you know? Well, who could complain? What's gonna happen?
We dated for 2 years until he suddenly dropped me. I think he started seeing a younger woman.
No!
But all he said was, "I'm sorry, but I'm gonna end this." I didn't argue. I mean, it wasn't like there was a ring on my finger. But suddenly I had nothing. I hadn't graduated yet, and I'd never had a job.
Oh no,
was
you've
going
got
to-
bills to pay. That's the problem with being a sugar baby, you guys, is that the whole relationship is built on you being young. And you know how long people are babies for? About 2 years. And then they're toddlers. Did he ask for a sugar toddler? I don't think so. Hey man, you gotta have an exit strategy. We're all gonna get old eventually. You have to do a job that you can do just as well with wrinkles on your face.
Who was going to hire me? I was so desperate. I signed up for a sugar babe website. This time, it didn't go so well. I met up with this guy. Let's call him George. He was in his late 40s, and from the moment I met him, I had a bad feeling.
Yikes.
I was too desperate to care, though, so I started dating him. He wasn't quite as rich as Mark, but at least he gave me enough money to stay in college.
To go skydiving. Oh, that's not a parachute. That's a backpack. Looked like a parachute. Common mistake. I've never been on land. Obviously, a parachute and a backpack are gonna look the same to me.
He was always demanding. I came to see him whenever he wanted, and he asked where I'd been if I didn't show up straight away.
Yikes.
If I went out with friends, he'd get really jealous. I felt like he
Yikes.
wanted to control me.
Yikes.
When he gave me an engagement ring after just 3 months.
Oh, listen, you guys. I ain't talking smack. Do what you want. Do what you want. I personally know people who have gotten engaged from knowing each other less than a year. My 2 cents. Why? Why? If you plan on being married your whole life, why can't you wait like at least a year into knowing a person before making that happen? Again, I've dated people for 6 months and then everything explodes. Everything explodes. What if I had popped the question at 3 months in? Situation would have been way worse. Anyways, guys, do whatever the heck you want. I ain't saying one thing's wrong or one thing's right, but I'm just saying you gotta be careful. 3 months in is, whew.
I knew I had to leave before I was in too deep. I texted him saying, "Sorry, but it won't work out."
Oh, you whipped out the Comic Sans. Everything changes when you change fonts in your text.
George went nuts. He came over and tried to break down my door. I had to call the cops to get him to leave. Yeah, he was a controlling maniac.
Oh my
I
gosh.
should never have started seeing him. In the end, I took out a big loan to finance my degree and
Good
cover
job,
my
Wendy
bills.
Birch.
But it was worth it. Now I'm working in an office with a stable salary, and I don't have to rely on a man to take care of me.
That was the creepiest looking dude of the whole animation. I'm glad you don't have to rely on a guy who looks like this. This guy looks a little bit terrifying, if you ask me. I wouldn't trust him for half a second.
Do I recommend finding a sugar daddy? Absolutely not. It's dangerous. A lot of those guys are troubled and just want to control the women they're with. But maybe, if I was having money problems, I'd do it again. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, I'm Michael, and even though I grew up poor,
Sorry, autoplay gets you every time. Ugh, I'm sweaty, you guys. Why did I do that? Why did I have to wear this? I don't know. I was trying to pick out an outfit, you guys. Listen, I try to mix it up. I try to look a little bit different in every video. Sometimes that results in this. How I became wealthy at age 20. 10 million views! 10 million views! Should I do this one? Not right now, but should I do this next time? You guys want me to do the 10 million view animation? Well, 20,000 likes, baby. That's a lot. 15,000 likes, baby. Can you do it? Can you do it? We'll see. If you can do it, if you can get 15,000 likes, that's a lot of likes, you guys. I don't know. I won't be offended if you can't do it, but If you do it, then we'll knock out this 10 million view animation. All right, what have we learned, you guys? 1, listening to heavy music is okay, but you might run into some Beyblade gangsters. 2, being a sugar baby can be some risky business. You should probably video chat a sugar daddy before meeting them in person, because this is a very risky business. I do recommend the old video chat, you know what I'm saying? And number 3, subscribe to RobertIDK. Hit that bell icon and watch another video. Go check out another video. You can check out this one or you can check out that one. I don't care. Whichever one tickles your fancy, you guys. Unfortunately, Sammy Sharkson, me, is not in that video, but, you know, check out one of these videos. I will see you there. I love y'all. Have a good one. Peace.